Okay.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Casking here, back at it again with some more DnD, and I'm here with my bro.
Yeah, Casca, what did you name this stream? Episode 3?
Yeah, basically.
Alright. Well, while we wait for people to roll in, do you want to do a recap of last episode for people who may have missed it?
Grimbo went full Grimbo mode.
Alright, more description.
Grimbo have many flashes of future that may be.
Yes, you don't understand what's happening and you're confused by it. You and the chieftain, along with the small army, trekked through the edge of the woodlines where the chieftain's sight feigns, and you went into the enemy territory, a neighboring clan of goblins. After coming across 2 goblins, you manage to kill one, and the other gets away, saving the life of the servant. And by the time you've reached the cave, you and the chieftain are looking from behind the woods, and you see 4 posted guards, 2 with pikes and 2 with bows. And that's where today's journey begins. For anyone joining in, this is an interactive D&D campaign. This is how you can play with us. Anytime I make a roll with a die, or Casket makes a roll with a die, if you want to help us or fuck us over in any way you feel free, you can pay $5 for a reroll, and then we are forced to reroll no matter what we got before. And for $2,
Yo. Well, sorry. We got our first chat from Kunth. What's up?
what's up, Kuntz? And for $2, you can give a suggestion to Grimbo, and Grimbo must do it. But for $5, you can have
Well,
any
it's
dice
not
reroll.
guaranteed. It's more taken into consideration.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But the funnier it is, the more likeliness it'll happen. But so for $5, any die reroll, and we meet our player Grimbo along with the chieftain and their army hiding behind the wood line about 100 yards out from a cave entrance along a tall, rustic cliff edge. As the sun begins to willow down and the sky turns a mild yellow. Are you ready, Grimbo?
Grimbo, always ready.
Well, it seems that we were not able to get here in time. Obviously, the other goblin got here before we did. Hmm. We need a plan. Servant? Yes, sir. Servant comes limping up forward, still partially bleeding, but small scratches compared to his immortal death from before. What is it, sir? We need you. What do you need me for, sir? Servant looks down, kind of kicking his feet and staring at his feet. You will be the distraction. What do you mean, sir? I mean this. And the chieftain picks up the servant goblin and throws him out from behind the tree line. Now run! And he takes off running, and let me roll the first die of the game, shall I?
Go for it.
Keep in mind, you can say or do anything anytime.
YouTube, go to channel, button.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 4.
Bless you.
The servant goblin begins running across the field towards the other woods line. And he's screaming. And let's see here. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
Ah, and two of the guards take notice. One of the bowmen and one of the spearmen, as they leave their post to give chase to the servant goblin.
I'm gonna power up one of those magic drill attacks.
Your magic arrow drill.
Yeah.
What do you want to call that attack, by the way? What should we name that? You know, for $2, the audience can pick the name of this attack.
I'm gonna call it drill bit.
All right. We'll roll it. Let's see if you can charge it.
All right, let's roll it.
You have to, if you roll a 1 or a 2,
Damn it!
you
I rolled a
fail.
1.
Not only do you not charge a arrow, but you feel a snapback from the magic, and it hurts. For the rest of the day, anytime you try to cast a spell, you have to now roll a 4 or better.
Oh great! Now I'm level 1 again.
Not only in this aspect, you still have all your other buffs.
All right, Grimbo, rub Grimbo hands together and spit in them and really concentrate this time.
All right, Grimbo. Let's see you concentrate this time.
Let's roll it. I rolled a 4.
You managed to feel the energy pulsing through you from the retaliation from before. And even hurt, you managed to pull out a blue arrow that hovers on the outside of your hand. As you move your hand around, so does the arrow.
I'm going to aim it very carefully at the bowman.
At the the bowman that's still sitting at the entrance?
Yes.
Good idea, says the chieftain. Let's see here. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 1.
He goes to charge up his staff, and it spews magic out in felters. What is this madness? He says. Well, go on then, he says, gesturing to you aggravatedly.
Alright, Grimbo, take aim and fire drill bit at bowman.
All right, give me an accuracy hit.
Alright, let's roll. I rolled a 3.
You were just barely going to be able to hit.
Hold on, guys. If you're gonna donate, now would be the time. $5, and I can re-roll that bitch.
You have 30 seconds before I continue.
You have 30 seconds to decide.
25, 23, 22. Would be 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Bless you. 11, 10, 9,
Bless you.
7, 6,
Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. The drill bit goes flying forward, spinning through the air, and it hits the bowman on the shoulder and starts to drill in, but at such a distance and with such a light projection from your magic. Roll me a 3-sided die.
2.
It drills into the arm enough that you could see blood, but the bowman reaches up and pulls the arrow out before it can do any more damage, letting out a yell. And the pike goblin looks over at the other goblin in confusion. I go, what? And you see them two talking, but you can't make out what they're saying.
How far away are they?
Meanwhile, you see the servant goblin. Let's see if he makes it into the woods before he gets caught.
6:06 p.m.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
Ooh. You see the servant goblin take an arrow to its back as it fades off into the distance, still being chased by the other two guardsmen.
6:07 p.m.
Well, Grimbo, you see the bowman striking a arrow up on its bow, and it starts to take coverage behind a boulder. Well, we're not going to get any better than this. The chieftain goblin raises his hand, makes a couple symbols, and let's see here. Let's roll it, shall we?
God, I wish you wouldn't roll so shittily.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 6.
All the guards, all 8 of the pikemen, or daggers and sword wielders, and the 5 bow ones began charging out. You see their bows strike up, and a fleet of arrows go flying forward, and...
Random 1.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 5.
Wow. The arrows hit the pike holder, and he falls down dead. This is our chance! And the chieftain starts running off.
Wait, where is he running?
You see him running off in the direction after the pikeman fell, and he disappears into the cave.
Alright, I follow.
You see one of the pikemen kill the other guard, who was the bowman, and you go running off after the chieftain as you see the other guards come running in with you. As you enter this cave, you look around, and off to the right you see the faint glow from the chieftain as he enters down a pathway. But you also have a entranceway forward and to the left.
I'm gonna follow the chieftain.
You follow the chieftain, and you see the other guards take off in other directions. What's he growling at?
Maybe down. Make a check.
That's fine. Yeah, go check. Hold on a second. And you run up to him, and you see that he is stalked outside of this shrine. And he picks his staff up, and he starts flowing green energy into this shrine that's in the shape of a very majestic goblin. Well, come on, fool. Give us your magic.
Okay.
He gestures for you to place your hand on the shrine.
Alright, I place my hands on the shrine.
Now, give me a roll for magic.
I rolled a 2.
You don't add any magic.
Oh, great.
The chieftain gets angry with you, and he slaps you. And he says, "Go find use elsewhere. You're of no use to me." He begins to pump his magic through. "Clear out the rest of the goblin horde, you fool," he says. What will you do?
Is he, like, draining all his magic into that statue?
You just see his staff with a green light coming out of the end and going into the statue, and the statue is slowly turning green.
guess I'll go elsewhere.
All right, you walk back down to the tunnel, and you have a northern. You have a. You have a northern entrance, and you have an eastern and western. You just came from the eastern entrance. You hear combat coming from both other segments.
Alright, let's go. Northern.
All right, you hear combat coming up from the northern area. As you make your way up through the area, you hear screaming and yelling of goblins. And you come into a huge corridor with a throne, and you see a giant goblin, much larger than yourself, almost 4 feet tall.
Well,
And he's got armor on, and his eyes are glowing yellow, such as the statue. And you see 3 of the pikemen that you traveled with slain on the ground. And the only 2 you see left in the room that belong to you are 2 bowmen. You see Grimson and another female bow user. As they continue running around, he is in the room by himself.
Grimbo charge in.
Combat will immense. Let's see.
Go.
Roll for initiative.
I roll a 2.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Number between 1 and 6 is 5.
All right. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
The random number between 1 and 6 is 5.
All right, so it's going to go the enemy, followed by the 2 bowwomen, and then you.
Alright.
So he pulls out a sword that glows yellow, much as his eyes do, from his scabbard from his side. He runs up to Grimson.
6:14 p.m.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 2.
And he goes to slice Grimson, but she manages to dodge out of the way. He tries to follow it up with a kick. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 6.
And he hits her in her stomach, and she goes flying across the room. And she lands and hits the wall, and she takes... Give me a random number between 1 and 4.
A random number between 1 and 4 is 2.
And you see that she is clutching her stomach where she was kicked across the room. The other, so she is prone and down, so she will not have an attack this round. You see him charging up an ability in his hands that glows yellow, and that will end his turn. The other bowwoman tries to shoot him with an arrow. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 1.
And she goes to shoot him with the arrow, and it reflects off of his armor, and it flies in your direction. Let's see here. Give me a random number between 1 and 2. 1 is you, 2 is Grimson.
Between 1 and 2 is 2.
And the arrow hits Grimson in the back. And now she falls into unconsciousness. It's your turn.
Okay, Is there any armor on his legs?
There is.
What about his crotch area?
He's got a full plate of armor. The only thing exposed is his face out of the front of the helmet.
Alright, I'm gonna take aim for his face.
With what?
Drill bit.
Well, roll for it. Give me a 4, 5, or 6.
Let's roll it. I rolled a 5.
Alright, you feel the energy pulsate into your hand as the drill bit begins to spin. Now, give me an accuracy check.
Please. A 1.
You shoot it out in
Wait,
front of you.
We've rolled a natural 1. Let's give the people a chance to see if we can't get that changed.
I'm kind of hoping they don't.
I'm kind of hoping they do.
Well,
Come on, guys. $5 donation, and I can re-roll this 1.
I kind of hope they don't, because I think that it is what it is.
Come on, it'd be way funnier if I re-rolled it and got a 6.
All right. Well, if someone donates, we'll re-roll. We're just going to continue forward unless we get a
let's
donation.
keep going.
All right. So the drill bit flies forward and it hits your teammate. Roll for damage.
I rolled. Hold on. A 1.
Okay. It hits her in her side and it drills in. She flinches and pulls it out before it's capable of doing too much damage. You have one more action you can take.
I tackle the motherfucker.
Roll it.
Let's roll it. I roll a 4.
You run forward to tackle him. And let's see if he can roll me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 4.
Oh, he gets a +1 to physical. You go to slam into him and he knocks you off and he laughs at you in your face. And now you're prone on the ground. And it's his turn again. He takes his sword while you're prone on the ground and he goes to stab it into your gut.
6:19 p.m.
Can I dodge?
Roll me a random number between 1 and 6. Maybe.
The random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
Alright, you have to roll a 4, 5, or 6.
Alright, let's roll it.
Since you're prone, you have to roll on the
I
ground.
rolled a 3.
He stabs you in the gut, dealing. Give me a random number between 1 and 4.
Random number between 1 and 4 is 3.
Give me a random number between 1 and 4.
Random number between 1 and 4 is 3.
Dealing 6 damage to you.
19 p.m.
Jeez.
Yep. And you feel a horrible, burning sensation going through your body. Alright, and now it's the bow woman's turn.
6:20 p.m. 3:9.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 4.
Alright, and let's see here. Give me a random number between 1 and 3.
Random number between 1 and 3 is 2.
And she goes to hit him with a arrow, and it manages to hit right between 2 of the plates, and it sticks into him. And Grimson is down. She's out in the battle, so it goes back to you, Grimbo.
I'm really going to concentrate and charge up my drill bit and aim it at this guy's crotch. Since I'm right next to him, I shouldn't miss.
Well, let's see if you can summon your magic.
Let's roll it. I rolled a 4.
Alright, you've managed to push the magic out of your hand and a drill forms. Accuracy, roll a die. If you roll anything above a 1, it'll hit since you're so close.
Alright. I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6?
Yeah.
Alright. Roll for damage.
Alright, let's roll it. I rolled a 5.
So you can only do 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me roll that then. Alright, I rolled 1.
You shoot the arrow out of your hand, and it hit the armor over his dick. And it drills into his armor, and you can see shards of metal, coming off. And it starts to drill in, and you hear him yell, and he grabs it and pulls it out. and you can see a goblin dick in the hole that you just created, looking you right in your face.
Wait, don't
You
I
have
get
one
3
of-
actions because I have a buff?
Yeah. Yeah, so use your next action.
Can I do that again?
You can roll and try to do it again.
Let's try and do it again. Yeah! Let's bring it on. I've rolled a 3.
Nope, you don't summon the magic. You have one more action you can try to take. Do you want to try this again?
I'm gonna try it one more time.
I hope you roll this.
Let's roll it. I rolled a 6.
The energy comes pulsating out, and a large drill forms outside your hand. If you roll anything but a 1, you can hit. If you roll a 5 or a 6, it'll go directly in the hole.
Okay, here we go. I rolled a 3.
It doesn't go directly in the hole. Unless someone wants to donate $5 to give Casper
Yeah,
a
does
second
somebody want to
chance.
see if I can get the drill to go into the hole?
You can literally drill his pecker.
You can cause a goblin to get drilled in his pecker for only $5.
Well, maybe. It gives you a chance to reroll, not a guarantee what you'll roll.
Yeah, could be. I could miss completely and roll a 1.
That you could.
As you were aiming, you were so impressed by his dick that you just missed. You know.
You just said, how can I damage such a beautiful thing? You are impressed by the girth. And
We
All
got
right.
a re-roll from Jeff.
all right, let's see if you can get that reroll going in. There's your
Let's
reroll.
roll it. I rolled a
And you
6.
Oh my god. We're about to witness a real life circumcision.
Yeah.
You aim for the hole that you had drilled in his crotch before, severely damaged. You're severely damaged. And you project your massive drill that you critted on and you had a perfect accuracy on. Although you could have sworn that you failed, but it seems to be a faint memory at this point. As the drill bit makes its way into the hole, popping in like a cartoon. As it pops into his Under Armour, and you see it disappear as blood starts to pour out of the hole. And he lets out a horrid, horrid, horrid sound, and you can hear the drill bit tinging as it bounces around the inside of the armor.
Oh, damn.
Now, roll for damage. Roll me a 6-sided die
You
and times
got
it by
it.
2 for your crit.
I rolled a 2.
Alright, so you do 4 damage. But that was a serious 4 damage on a very serious part of his body. It's literally, there's blood just coming out of this hole, and he drops his weapon and stunned, and he falls down, and he's trying to cover the blood hole. And he's just not able to do anything. He's literally stunned. And that's the end of your turn. The one last bowwoman that's up with you,
Discord.
pick a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 1.
Shoots another arrow, and it reflects off of his armor, and it has to hit you because you're the closest thing.
Oh, damn it.
I'm sorry, she
I'm
rolled a 1.
already impaled by a sword on the ground.
Oh, he impaled you, and then he pulled the sword out, but he just
Oh.
dropped it on the ground. And now, let's see here. Pick a random number between 1 and 3.
Random number between 1 and 3 is 2.
And you take 2 damage as an arrow pegs you right in the gut. And now it goes back to his turn. He is clenching his metal gauntlet area around his blood hole. His blood continues to pour out. You can tell in his eyes begin to flicker back to normal goblin eyes and yellow back and forth as he continues to bleed. And he leans over and grabs his sword. And you see him close his eyes. And the sword starts to rage a bright yellow. And he takes the tip of the sword as yellow flames erupt off of it. And he touches it to the hole, his crotch hole. And you see yellow flame go in the crotch hole as he grits his teeth. And then the blood stops pouring out of the crotch hole. He turns to you with wild abandonment in his eyes, just furious rage. And he looks at you in the eyes. And who are you? He says as he's gritting his voice through the pain.
My name's Grimbo. I'm gonna kill you.
Son of a... I swear to God, I will end your life today for what you've just done to me. I'm now a eunuch. And his eyes flicker back to yellow, and yellow light comes streaming out of his mouth, and he looks so enraged. Even the tip of his ears begin to vibrate with a yellow energy.
Is this gonna make a tasty orb?
He holds out his other hand, and you see a yellow orb appear in his hand. Let's see here.
6:29 p.m.
Roll a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
And this might kill you.
Oh no. Grimbo dodge.
Alright. You want to try to get dodge?
Yeah.
Alright, you have to roll better than a 3.
Alright, let's roll it. I rolled a 6.
Alright, you completely dodge as the yellow energy ball goes whizzing across your head. And it hits the back rocks. And you see that it sizzles and it melts the rocks behind you. Alright, and now it's the bow woman's turn.
6
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 1.
Damn, she shoots another arrow. And it bounces off of his armor and it hits you again.
Ah!
How much damage have you taken?
I have 5 health left.
Get that.
Well, how? What's your total health?
I was at 13.
Alright. Give me a random number between 1 and 3.
Random number between 1 and 3 is 1.
Well, now you have 4 health left, because now you've got 2 arrows sticking out of your belly.
I scream, can you please stop doing that?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm trying to kill him. She says back. And now it's your turn, Grimbo.
Grimbo is now enraged. Grimbo aimed for face and make drill bit for face to this man.
All right, roll to see if you can summon your energy.
I'm gonna roll it. I rolled a 1, goddammit.
I'll take a brief moment to say to the viewers who are watching, you can influence my rolls or Casket's by forcing a reroll. If I roll a 6 and you say fuck that, I want to screw you over, or if Casket rolls a 6 and you say nah, I want to screw him over, or if anybody rolls a 1, you want to roll anything you want to reroll, $5 grants a guaranteed reroll on anything you like. Consider this a little promo. All right, so you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Not only do you not summon the energy, but you feel another backlash.
Great.
And now you have to roll a 5 or a 6 in order to summon your magic for the day.
Great.
You've got 2 more chances. Would you like to try again?
Grimbo gonna try and run.
Where's Grimbo gonna run to?
The down bow woman.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna run to the downed bowman and try and shoot them with a bow and arrow.
Grimson?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, it'll take a full action to run to Grimson. I'll let you pick up the bows and arrows as a free action, and that'll leave you with one action for the turn.
Alright.
So, are you going to try to shoot with the bow and arrow?
I am. I aim and fire.
Well, let's see. Let's see if you hit. Give me a 1 to 6.
I rolled a 2.
You miss, but you also don't hit your ally. The arrow goes whizzing by his head as he doesn't even have to dodge, and he's still kind of hunched over, kind of like a guy who's been holding his piss too long. And now it's his turn. You will fucking end you! You hear him say. And he's talking so viciously that spit is flying out of his mouth. And the yellow energy emanating from his body is growing as his anger continues to grow. And he summons another orb in his hand.
6:30.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 6.
Oh no. And it's a huge yellow orb. Matter of fact, it's got flames coming off of it.
Oh, great.
Yes, and he's looking at you with a vicious smile on his
Can I
face.
start running now?
Well, he's got to throw it at you and see if you can dodge first. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Number between 1 and 6 is 2.
You have options.
Okay, what are my options?
You can roll a 3 or better to dodge, or you can roll a 4 or better to catch.
Grimbo catch.
But here's the thing, if you miss the catch, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
He rolled a 2, so he's not... it's going to be pretty easy to dodge, but I'm giving you a chance to catch. You want to try to catch?
Yeah, I want to try and
You
catch.
you get one roll. Give me a 4, 5, or 6. Let's see if you can catch this bad boy.
Okay, here we go.
You're going to roll a 1.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, Grimbo took too much pride. The idea of the delicious orbs overwhelmed you, and you figured, I wonder what yellow tastes like. As Grimbo stands up there with the mouth open and arms wide, going, gimme, 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 have it, gimme, have it. And the chieftain says, with pleasure, Grimbo. And he shoots it at you. And you go to catch it. Your hands touch it. And then it slides right through your palms into your chest. And Grimbo flies backwards, bouncing off of the edge of the cave and hitting the ground. Let's see how much damage you took, Grimbo.
Oh no.
Here's how the damage is going to work. I'm going to roll a random number between 1 and 6 and times it by 2, and that's how much damage you just took.
Oh great, I have 4 health.
Yeah, you do.
You better fucking roll a 1.
I mean, it ain't up to me. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 4.
Fuck.
Grimbo takes a huge load to the chest. Grimbo goes flying backwards with the orb on front of him, burning his flesh. And he hits the wall, and he bounces off and falls to the ground as he wheezes his last breath. Unless a reroll is paid for, in which case we can rewind time. This is the way the dice play, I'm sorry.
No, not Grimbo. We're only 3 episodes in.
Look, I don't control the dice. You chose to try to catch it. That's not my fault.
Look, I thought I'd get lucky.
Well, I'm sorry. You had a 50-50 chance and you lost, buddy.
Go, Time Wizard. Do your fucking time bullshit roulette.
Basically what you did, and you lost the time roulette. Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, I can't cheat. The dice has to play the way they play, man.
Wait. As I fall to the ground, can we roll for a chance for one of the magic potions to break open and somehow go into my mouth?
There's no way that's possible.
Well, I thought I'd try. Damn.
I'm sorry, but you lay there dead on the ground. And how am I saying? And as you lay dead on the ground, he lets out an evil laugh. Told you I would kill you. Now it's your turn. He points over to the bow woman, slicing her down with one slice, cutting her in half. He makes his way out of the chamber. And he takes the left turn down the eastern chamber. And he sees your chieftain standing there, charging his energy. And a great battle immenses between the chieftain and the opposing chieftain. Where?
6:38 p.m.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 4.
Where your chieftain falls in combat.
Damn.
And your entire tribe is wiped out. Grimson, you, the chieftain, the slave goblin, the warriors, and the last thing you see in your consciousness before you fade away into the nether is the enemy chieftain walking out of the cave with his army going towards your cave where the women and children wait. All of this can be avoided for a $5 dono.
Yeah.
But if not, that's how this story ends.
Don't let Grimbo die.
You tried to catch Orb, Grimbo.
Grimbo wanted tasty orb.
It's okay, Grimbo. It's okay.
Grimbo addicted to tasty orbs.
Grimbo is addicted to tasty orbs. That was Grimbo's biggest downfall. What lesson did you learn, Grimbo?
Grimbo not learn any lesson. Grimbo still want orbs.
Even in death?
Yes.
All right.
Grimbo see big orb in sky. Grimbo gonna lick it.
Mm. Well, I'm going to give 30-second countdown, and then there will be no other chance to rewind time.
If I could turn back time, if I
5, 24, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17.
Alright, come on, everybody. We need a $5 dono or the story is over.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bing bong.
Ding dong, Grimbo is dead.
Ding dong. Alright, roll me a 6-sided die.
Really? Alright, let's see what happens. I rolled a 2.
Not so good. You wipe your eyes off.
Wait, what?
You look around. You see orange light glowing. You're in a black onyx cave, not like the one you were in before. You're also completely naked.
I look around.
Roll me a die.
I rolled a 4.
You see that it's really smooth black onyx. And outside you see a yellow light glowing from way off in the distance towards a narrow passageway.
I go towards the lights.
You walk through this cave, long narrow path. Could have been 10 seconds, could have been 10,000 years. Place feels weird to you. And you look out and you see pits of fire. You see flying creatures with wings and sharp fangs.
Oh, Grimbo,
And
not in a good place.
you see black clouds and a red sky. You see a passageway around the lava pits with black sand.
Grimbo tastes black sand.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 6.
Surprisingly, the black sand tastes like grapefruit.
Oh, Grimbo gonna eat a bunch of it.
You eat a bunch of this black sand until you feel sick and you're very thirsty. So it's really warm here and you keep sweating.
Grimbo gonna go look for water.
Do you take the black sand away?
Yes.
Well, as you make your way down the black sand way, you come across random lava pits where they keep spewing bubbles out of them, popping in the air. Sometimes the bubbles come up and pop, and a new flying creature comes out of it with sharp fangs, small as a bat, flying off into the sky. The black sand, you walk on the black sand for what may have been 10 minutes or 10 million years. You keep becoming more and more thirsty. And you don't know, but where's water? I need water, I need water, you keep thinking to yourself. You come across some trees out in the distance. You say, if there's trees, there must be water. You have 3 options here. You can really do anything you want, but there's 3 passageways. You don't have to choose to take any of them.
I'll go towards the trees.
Well, there's the trees, and then the sand also leads to the right, off in the distance, a black desert. Where all you can see is black sand that meets the skyline of the red abyss. And then to the left you see yellow light. And it emanates in random pulsations. The trees?
Yeah.
You walk towards the trees. Roll me a 6-sided die.
Alright. I rolled a 2.
They're just black trees as far as you can tell. Tall black trees with no leaves. Growing out of the black sand. Do you walk into the woods?
Yeah, let's walk into the forest.
You walk into the forest. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 6.
Lucky you. You feel an urge to want to stay here. But you come to the realization that that urge isn't coming from you. That this place has got an energy about it that makes you feel as though this is home. Let me roll a 6-sided die. Roll a 6-sided die.
Roll a 6-sided die. 1. It has base toughness 1 until end of turn. 2. Put 2 -1-1 counters on it.
Generate a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 2.
6:48
You
p.m.
hear a snapping of a branch as it falls down to you. And you see blood coming out of the branch.
Oh, no. I pick up the branch.
Alright, you're now holding this black branch.
I'm gonna keep walking.
Are you going to keep it with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it with me.
You're holding this black branch, and out of the end where it snapped off, there's blood that is running down the tree line. The branch down to your hand. Very red, much as the sky. Let me roll a. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Number between 1 and 6 is 3.
You hear a pattering of footsteps coming from ahead of you, very fast.
I'm gonna take a stance.
In front of you, as quick as the wind, appears a very large creature. He's got the claws of a lion, and the body of a bear, and the face of a human, and the tail of a monkey. And he sees you, and he's staring at you without moving, about 10 feet in front of you. He doesn't blink. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't do anything but look you directly in the eyes.
Grimbo, step closer.
You take a step closer, and it mirrors your step, taking a step closer to you. Still no expression on its face, completely expressionless, but still staring into your eyes, never blinking.
Grimbo is confused. Hello?
As you say hello, the creature then echoes back to you, and after about 5 seconds, hello, with your own voice.
This creature is most interesting.
This creature is most interesting, it says back to you. This time in about 4 seconds after you spoke.
Grimbo gonna try and keep walking.
Where are you gonna walk, Grimbo?
I'm gonna try and walk around him.
As you take steps around him, his eyes continue to be glazed upon you. And he follows you. He's 4 feet behind you as you make your way around. And then he says,
I'm gonna keep going.
he says, hello? This creature is interesting. Hello? Hello? This creature is interesting. He keeps saying to you from behind in your own voice.
Grimbo needs to remember to teach him more words.
Grimbo needs to remember to teach him more words. Hello? This creature is interesting. Grimbo need to remember to teach him more words. Grimbo. 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 Hello. Grimbo. Teach him. You hear him say.
Grimbo, keep walking.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
I have rolled a 6.
As you walk through the woods, you find a fountain in the middle of this black sand with black trees, with blue pitch water. As you still hear, hello? Grimbo need to teach him more words. Interesting creature. Interesting creature. Grimbo, hello?
Come, Grimbo, find water.
Come, Grimbo, find water, he says in your exact voice.
Grimbo, go to drink the water.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 1.
That is very delicious water.
It is now.
Yeah, you love it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Hello? Grimbo, you drink water. What an interesting creature. Grimbo need to teach him more words, you hear him say. You keep
Grimbo,
drinking
find
the...
delicious water.
Grimbo, find delicious water, he says in your voice. You keep drinking more water, and it's so soothing and so filling and so nice and cold and wonderful. It's delicious, the most thirst-quenching water you've ever had. Oh, hello? Grimbo need to teach him more words. Delicious water. Grimbo have delicious water. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 5.
Alright, you look around as you continue to drink this water. You can't seem to pull yourself away from it. The more you drink, the more you want. And you see the creature standing there, 4 feet behind you. This time he's smiling. He's smiling at you. And you see he's got jagged yellow teeth. He looks very pleased with what you're doing.
I'm gonna stop drinking the water.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
Oh no. I rolled a 5.
You pull yourself away from the water. You keep thinking, oh, that water is so good. I can't leave. I need more of it. I need more of this water. Oh, every step you take away from it, you feel your heart drop more and more because the only thing you can think about is this wonderful water. The thirst-quenching joy that it is. The fact that it's the only thing in your mind anymore. It's the only thing you can think about. You yearn for it. You dream for it. Every waking cell in your body screams for more of that water. The creature stands in front of you with a smile on his face after you take 3 steps.
Grimbo, keep walking.
He keeps walking in front of you, facing towards you. Any direction you move, he moves right in front of you with a smile on his face, staring you directly in your eyes as he walks backwards.
Grimbo no have time for games. Grimbo must go where Grimbo must go.
Grimbo have no time for games. Grimbo must go where Grimbo must go. He says back to you, "Hello. What interesting creature you are." Grimbo must remember to teach him more words. Grimbo have no time for games. Grimbo must go where Grimbo must go. He says in your voice, every time you turn, he's right in front of you, staring you in the eyes, facing your face, never leaving the front of you. You still hear the wonderful sound of that water
Grimbo,
from
spin
behind.
around in a big circle.
As fast as you spin, he moves even quicker, never leaving the front of you.
Grimbo, sit on the ground.
You sit on the sand, and the creature stands there looking at you in the eyes. He's always 3 feet in front of you, facing you, never to turn away from your sight.
Grimbo have idea.
Grimbo have idea. Grimbo have no time for games. Grimbo must do what Grimbo must do. Hello. Such an
I'm
interesting
gonna try
creature you
and
are.
teach him every word that Grimbo know.
Okay. Roll me a 6-sided die.
Alright. Roll a 5.
As you continue to teach him words, sitting there staring at him, his skin slowly turns, his fur starts to shed, and he starts to take the shape of a human. His lion claws begin to shrinken, starting to resemble that of a human's fingers, with still lion's claws on the end, but the skeletal structure is changing. His tail, his legs, his body, everything begins to morph to be more of a humanoid shape. And he's still just mimicking the words back to you. His face even changes to that of a normal human's face. But he's still 3 feet in front of you, just repeating back to you random words that you have spoken to him. The only difference now, well, you'll see. What do you do next, Grimbo?
Grimbo, stand up. Hmm?
You stand up, and so does the creature. He stands up, mirroring you.
What do you want?
What do you want? He holds
Grimbo,
his
start
arm.
walking.
He starts walking backwards. The sound of the water is still churning in the wonderful pool that you hear behind you.
Grimbo going to ignore it and keep walking.
He starts walking, and he even has his arm held out as though he has a stick in his hand like you do. With every movement you make, he mirrors yours in reverse exactly. As he continues to say random words and phrases that you have spoken to him.
keep walking until I find something.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
I have rolled a 1.
You walk for what could be years. Just you and this creature in front of you staring you, never blinking, never changing its expression, never looking elsewhere. Every time you move your arm up, he moves his arm up. You sit down, he sits down. You lay down, he lays down. The complete reverse image of you. After walking for countless times, you come across a pool of water and a waterfall. There is a. Do you want a hint?
Yes.
This is solvable.
Alright, Grimbo, go drink more water.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 5.
You face towards the water, and you begin to walk into the water, or to the water, and as you approach it, 3 feet in front of you is this creature staring you in the eyes, as you've become accustomed to. And as you get closer into the water, he steps into the water. And as you get to the edge of the water, he is down to his neck in the water. You reach down, and you bring some up to your mouth to drink it. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 2.
It's still the most delicious water you've ever had. Not quite as good as you remember, but you can't. It's been so long since you've last drinking water that it's still just as thirst quenching. And as you bring your hand up to your mouth to drink the water, you see him do the same thing. As the water in his hand goes into his mouth, he drinks as well. And you keep drinking and drinking the water. And as a reverse mirror to you, so does this creature. Both of you continue to drink it all up. For hours and days, you stay there, addicted, just thinking, concentrating. Every fiber in your body just wants more of this. It's the only thing that consumes every thought that you have. Now what?
Grimbo gonna stop drinking.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 2.
You want to stop drinking and you start to step away. The urge to come back is too strong. And as you continue to drink, you notice that your skin is starting to change. Starting to take on a new color. Starting to become darker, almost black in nature. You feel yourself starting to become rigid a little bit. What will you do now?
Grimbo gonna try and get out of the water again.
Alright, let's see if you can step away from the water. Roll it.
I rolled a 3.
The water just calls to you. Your fingers start to become more thin and narrow and take the shape of black. As you consume more and more of the water.
Grimbo try and break away again.
Do it.
I rolled another 3.
You continue to drink this water. Your arms become stiffened. And the only thing you can think about is the water. Your feet, you feel as though is taking root in the ground. You have 2 more chances.
Alright, let's roll it. I rolled a 4.
You stop drinking the water, but every fiber in your body wants you to continue drinking. Roll to see if you can turn away from the water and walk.
I rolled a 3.
You can't turn away from the water. Your feet won't move. Though you're not drinking the water anymore, you can't seem to move from where you're at.
Grimbo tried really hard.
You will have one more chance now.
Alright, let's roll it. Grimbo, roll a 6.
You pull really hard and you hear the snapping of twigs. You feel incredible pain on the bottoms of your feet. You start to walk forward, leaving a blood trail. You turn away from the water. As quickly as you turn, so does the creature that's been mirroring you, standing in front of you. This time in front of you, there is a man. No longer with the shape of a beast. No longer with this coating in the fur, a full-fledged naked man. Staring you in the eyes. If you look down at your body, give me an observation check.
I rolled a 2.
Well, you feel as though you're completely normal. For the most part, just a little stiff and thin black fingers and arms. It's nothing too wild, you think to yourself.
Wait a second.
What
Grimbo's
is it?
having thoughts.
What's your thoughts, Grimbo?
Is human Grimbo?
Wait. Alvine is having thoughts. Is Goblin human? For the first time ever, he says words that is different than you.
709 PM. 8 notifications. YouTube. Collapse step. Groups. Now. YouTube. 7 notifications.
Hello?
Did you not hear what I just said?
Yeah, what did he say?
He said, wait a minute. Albin is having thoughts. Is a goblin?
Grimbo. Grimbo must think.
Albin must think.
Is Grimbo named Calvin?
Is Calvin named Grimbo?
Wait a second.
Wait a second.
If Grimbo is Calvin and Calvin is Grimbo, that
If
means human and goblin switch bodies.
Goblin and human switch bodies.
Grimbo
Albin
is not goblin. Calvin is man.
Albin is man. Albin is not human. Albin is goblin. And as that is said, you grow taller, and the creature in front of you grows shorter. As he becomes a green goblin, and your form feels sturdier and hardier. You have figured out the riddle. I'm impressed with how you figured this out. That was
Really?
exactly, yeah. Is this a good puzzle?
Wait, how did I figure it out?
Because you literally said what needed to be said in order to get you two to switch. But come on, is this a good puzzle or
That's
what?
great.
Yeah. In front of you, there is a 2.5-foot goblin staring you in the eyes, very frail and naked. So are you, though. Naked, anyways.
I check myself.
You are a mildly hairy, naked man. You appear to be human. You
Hello.
almost. Hello. Hello.
Would you like to come with me?
Would you like to come with me?
Okay, he still copies everything I say.
Okay, he still copies everything I say.
Alright, let's start walking.
You begin to walk. Roll me a 6-sided die. There's
I
one piece
rolled a
of the
6.
puzzle you. All right. I guess you're not going to figure that last piece out, but that's okay. That's the roll of the die. You roll a 6.
Yep.
For the first time, as far back as you can remember, you've been in these woods. All other memories have faded from your mind. All you know are these woods, the black onyx trees. The staff is now being held by the goblins. You hold nothing. He still mirrors your movements, staring at you in the front. As you come up to the tree line, and you peer out into a valley you have never seen before, as far as you know.
Oh.
Give me a perception check.
Let's roll it. I rolled a 5.
You see a vast sand, and off to your left, black sand that fades off among the ruby skies. In front of you, there is sand that goes down towards these lava pits with a path that leads to somewhere that you don't know. And to your right, there is a flickering yellow light off in the distance.
I'm gonna start going towards the light.
All right. You make your way towards the light. This little goblin creature in front of you, mimicking every action you do. Staring you in the eyes, never blinking. If you make your way up the areas, the light begins to flicker in a pattern that you don't recognize, but it's definitely meaningful because it keeps repeating. You come up to the edge of a cliff, and off the edge of the cliff, you see yellow energy flowing. And as it flows quickly and fast, and it fills the regime in the cliff with yellow energy flowing down, and then it stops and is empty. More yellow energy comes flowing down, and then it stops, and then it's empty. And it continues in patterns. This is a very wide cliff. It's very wide to the other side, easily 60 to 80 feet. What will you do? What shall you do?
I guess I'll keep going.
Are you going to walk to the edge? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
I'm gonna walk to the edge.
Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 2.
As you walk to the edge, the creature, the goblin in front of you, is mirroring your images 3 feet in front of you. As soon as he gets off the ledge, he falls down into the ravine. And you see him fall 100 feet, but he stands there perfectly, still standing there. And the yellow energy comes flooding by, and when it fades away, he is still standing there, as though he is staring into your eyes.
Alright, I'm gonna try and walk away.
You turn to walk away, and as you do, you look back and see that he is still trying to mimic your movements in reverse at the bottom of this cliff. As yellow energy continues to pulse through in a rhythmic pattern. Would you like a hint?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty stoned. I don't know if I can answer this.
He reverse and mimics your actions, and now he's down in an area you can't get.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So you can do stuff down there by doing things backwards for you, and it'll do it the right way for him.
Alright, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have him explore down there.
Well, how about you do an observational look of what it looks like down there?
Alright. I rolled a 3.
Alright, you look down there, and the yellow energy keeps pulsating through. And then in between the pulsing yellow energy, you see that there is a root that is growing out in between, covering something. That's all you can really see. Out in the middle of this.
I go pull on the root.
You alright? Well, you don't go pull on the root. You have to do the actions in reverse so that he will mirror it.
That's okay.
Roll me a 6-sided die. Let's see if you're capable of doing this.
I roll a 6.
Alright. Fuck it. You do it just fine. Apparently this is very easy for you after being mirrored for who knows how many years. This is the easiest thing you've ever done. You walk over to it on top of this cliff edge, watching this little goblin mimicking your actions right in front of you. And you reach down in air and you pull up, and you see him pull up, pulling apart some roots. And you keep pulling apart the roots over and over and over again. And you see a green gem that is laying there. What will you do? You reach down in your human form and you grab air, and you see the goblin reach down and he picks up the gem. What will you do now?
Alright, I'm gonna try and get him back up the cliffside.
Alright, so let's see if you can mimic climbing in air so that he can actually climb up. Roll it.
I rolled a 3.
Nope. I give you 2 more chances at this. You have to roll a 5 or a 6.
I rolled a 2. And a 1.
Obviously, he will never be able to leave this cliff. But he holds it in his hand. If only there was a gesture or a motion that you could do to get that green thing up to you.
Oh, I know. I'll throw it to myself.
So you mimic the action of throwing as high and as hard as you can. And you see the goblin mimicking your action. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 3.
Nope. Roll again. You get 2 more tries.
All
you gotta
right.
be a 4.
I rolled.
You need a 4,
4,
5, or 6. Alright. On that one, you throw into the air, and you see the green orb come flying up, and you hold your hands out to catch it. And you look down, and you see the green goblin holding nothing, as though he has caught something himself. You have a green glowing orb in your hand. It looks familiar to you.
I lick it.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You take it and you lick it in your mouth, and you see the goblin licking nothing in his hand, but mimicking your actions. And it tastes like sweet watermelon. It delicious. And as you lick it, you feel energy building up, some sort of tickling in your brain. Something that you haven't felt before. It feels like a daydream, or as though you woke up and you're trying to hold on to the dream that you had the night before. You can't exactly recall, but something's off. You weren't always in the woods. That's not where you were born. That's not born. Yeah, you what? How did you get into these woods? What's going on here? What is happening? Hold on. Something. How did I appear on that beach? You ask yourself. What am I? Who am I? You think aloud. You immediately realize that this place feels wrong. It feels very wrong. Matter of fact, it feels as though this place is just downright evil. There's an ominous energy flowing throughout this entire place. And the more of this orb you eat, roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 2.
The more of this orb you eat, the more you're like, I don't give a shit, this orb is delicious. This is the only thing I care about now is this orb. But the more you eat, the smaller it becomes. And roll me another 6-sided die.
I rolled a 1.
Yep, this orb is all I need in life, and you continue to consume it.
Great.
Until it's gone. You have just little glowing, like, remnants on your hand. Roll one more time.
I rolled a 5.
And after you finally get done devouring this orb, reality finally smacks you because you love the taste of orbs. This place is wrong. And you close your eyes and you breathe, and you feel the sense of that this is not, there's so much evil. This place is pure evil. It's just death incarnate. It's something is terrible about this place. And you feel the energy flowing. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 4.
And you summon your energy out from you. And when you summon your energy, I can't believe you never did this while you were here, by the way. You summon, and yellow energy comes pulsing out of your hand and takes the form of a yellow dagger. And you look down the cliff edge and you see the goblin with his opposing arm out with a blue drill bit. It's a glowing yellow dagger and his glowing blue drill bit.
Oh,
And then you realize, huh?
No, keep going.
And the energy feels natural. It matches the yellow that's flowing in a pattern down this cliffway. The energy pulses feel normal. It feels the only good energy that's here is that pulse that keeps coming down. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 5.
You feel the energy drawing you into the cliff. At this point, you realize about almost every second, you get a quick flash of a pulse of yellow energy that flows down this cliffway.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna jump in.
Roll me a 6-sided die. Let's see if you can time it right.
I rolled a 2.
Alright, you roll a 2 and you jump in and you time it wrong and the energy goes in front of you and you're falling down. Roll me one more 6-sided die.
I rolled a 3.
You catch the cliff edge, and right as you do, another energy comes pulsing down, and it hits you. And it hits you like flood water as you go flying down this cliff edge at such speeds that the walls of the cliff become a blur. And you are being tumbled around. And for the first time, you make physical contact with the creature that was in front of you this entire time as you both collide, twisting together, twisting and twisting and twirling in this yellow energy together. The energy starts to flicker between yellow and blue, yellow and blue, yellow and blue, and it takes the color of green. And you let out a huge yell. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I rolled a 1.
You let out a huge yell, and you open your eyes, and you're surrounded in darkness. You can't see a thing.
Shit.
You say shit out loud, and you hear echoes coming back to you. It sounds as though it's flickering off of walls.
I try and walk forward.
You walk forward, and you bump into a wall. But you bump into a wall. Do you wish to follow it around?
Yeah.
After a while, you take your left hand and you follow the wall, and the area becomes very short. You have to duck down, and you have to like really scrunch down to get through some of these narrow passageways. But when you get down and you go through this passageway, you see 2 cave entrances to the left and right, and you're able to see them because there's a cave exit out in front of you where the light is coming in by.
Alright, I exit the cave.
You exit the cave and you wipe your eyes and you stand there. It's a tall human, and you see dead goblins all around you. Some wearing black armor, some wearing a yellow with black spotted armor. That refreshes a memory in your mind of your clan.
Oh shit. I go running for the other cave.
You take off running as a naked human through the woods. Some might think that's not a good idea, but you don't care. Maybe that's a part of Grimbo. Alright. Roll me a 6-sided die.
I roll a 3.
You get there. It takes you about 2 hours, where before it took you 4 to 6 to get here. Your longer legs make you a much quicker creature. When you get there, you hear the sound of screams and yelling and laughter, maniacal laughter coming from within the cave.
I summon my weapon.
Roll me a 6-sided die. You have to roll a 4, 5, or 6.
I rolled a 6.
You summon a very powerful yellow dagger out of your hand. And it's hovering about an inch away from your hand. Do you take off into the cave?
Yes.
You run into the cave, and the only light source is the yellow dagger in your hand. Otherwise, it's pitch black, and you see goblins being cut down. And you see, off in the distance, a goblin wearing armor, holding a yellow sword. Thanks to the... Roll me a 6-sided die.
Alright. I rolled a 3.
Well, thanks to the glow of the dagger, since you rolled a 6, it's like twice as big. You can see that he has a hole in the crotch of his armor with dry bloodlet spots. What will you do, Grim?
I'm gonna bum rush him with my sword.
What sword?
My glowing sword.
Well, I guess it's technically the size of a small sword, since you rolled a 6 on it, summoning. So how are you going to do that? Are you going to grab the sword and actually use it as a weapon, or are you going to use magic to project it?
Oh man, can I spin it around like a buzzsaw?
Yeah, you can. Would you like to?
Fuck yeah, I want to send it right at him.
Let's see if you can hit. Roll me a 6-sided die.
Alright, let's roll it. I rolled a 5.
Alright, that's good enough. It goes flying forward, spinning like a buzzsaw. Spinning so quickly, the sound of the air being cut is constant. And it goes forward. And now roll me a 6-sided die and times it by 2.
Alright, let's roll it. I roll a 3.
And it cracks into the side of his armor, piercing through it and cutting it. Not only cutting it, but it slides back through and cuts again. And you deal 6 damage. And he lets out a yell. And he starts yelling at you. And you see his eyes glowing a yellow color. But you don't understand what he's saying. And he sounds a lot more high-pitched than he did before. And you see him charging up a yellow ball in his hands. Let me get my phone.
33 p.m. 16 notification. 7:33 p.m. 7:33 p.m.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
And he rolls a 3. You can try to dodge or catch.
I'm gonna dodge.
7:34
You
p.m.
learn. Roll it. You gotta give me a 4, 5, or 6. A 3 is a
roll.
contested.
I rolled a 6.
You perfectly dodge it. And he goes flying off in the distance. And he charges up a second one.
7:34 p.m. 16 notification.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 6.
And he cracks it at you as you come closer. You have to roll a 6 in order to dodge.
Alright, let's roll it.
7:34 p.m.
I rolled a 1.
And it hits you dead on, dealing 0. Roll me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 0 and 100 is 98.
No. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
The random number between 1 and 6 is 2.
Alright, you take 4 health points of damage because it was a crit.
Damn.
And you realize that you have been fully healed when you revived. So, it's your turn once more.
How far away is he?
You're like 20 feet now. You can reach him if you really dash at him.
I'm gonna dash at him, tackle him, and start beating him in the face.
Alright, you dash at him. Give me a roll it. Roll me a 6.
I roll a 4.
Well, you're definitely much larger than he is now. He stands at 4 feet, but you usually stand at 6. You tackle him to the ground. You start beating him in the face. Give me a roll for damage. Let's see, it's bludgeoning. You can get 2 hits. Roll me 2 3-sided die.
Alright. That's 1. Hold on. 3. Alright.
So you're beating the crap out of him. He drops his sword to start blocking his face. He's looking very beat up and weak. And then he decides to
7.
give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 0 and 100
No.
is 39.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
And he summons an orb, but it's not as powerful as before. Let's see here. It's in his palm. Give me a number between 1 and 6.
The random number between 1 and 6 is 5.
And he shoots it at you, and you really can't dodge at this range, but you can try to catch. That's your only...
Alright, what do I have to roll?
You have to roll a
catch?
5 or a 6.
7 p.m.
Alright, let's roll it. I rolled a 2.
It hits you, dealing... give me a random number between 1 and 3.
Random number between 0 and 100 is 57.
Give me a random number between 1 and 3.
A random number between 1 and 3 is 1.
You take 1 damage. It's your turn.
I gouge out his eyes and I whisper in his ear, Grimbo back from the grave, bitch.
7:37 p.m.
Alright, roll it. If you roll a 6, I'll let you take the kill shot here.
Alright, I'll do it. I roll a 2.
You go to gouge him in his eyes and he turns his head. You're unable to. He bites your finger. Doesn't cause damage, but it causes you to recoil your hand.
You know what? I'm gonna snap his nose like a fucking twig.
Try it.
Let's roll it. I rolled a 1.
You go to snap his nose, and you fall down on top of him, and you roll off, and he's starting to stand up.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
7:38.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 6.
And he charges up a huge, humongous, fire-glowing yellow orb like before. You've seen this before.
Yeah.
The fear in your eyes is imminent, as this is the largest attack, and you know what's
Can I
coming.
fire my sword out of my hand at him?
Well, it's not your turn. You can't take an action, only a reactionary. But let's see if he can even hit you. Roll me a number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 2.
Now, you can try to catch it if you roll a 3 or better. Or you can dodge, and all you have to do is roll a 2 or better.
7:39 p.m.
Grimbo's gonna go for the catch.
All right.
Grimbo feel like Grimbo had big balls. Let's do it. I rolled a
Alright.
1. Oh,
Grimbo, do not learn from lessons.
damn it!
How much health do you currently have?
8.
My God, you might die again.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, you know what? Grimbo puts his hands out to catch this orb. I've got it, he says to himself. And his palms touch it as before, but just as before, it slips his hands, hits hitting him in the chest and sending him flying backwards. Roll me a number between 1 and 6.
Random number between 1 and 6 is 4.
7:42
You fly back and hit the wall.
Yeah.
You have 1 health point remaining.
Fuck me.
What will you do? He's on he's on death's door as well.
I take aim and try and summon my dagger.
Roll it.
I rolled a 5.
The dagger is summoned and it glows.
I fired directly into his face.
Roll it.
I rolled a 1. Motherfucker!
Yeah, he goes flying off and hits the cave somewhere, bouncing around. You have 1 more action you can take. Will you
Let's
try to
try
summon
it.
another?
I'm gonna try it again.
Do it.
I roll another 1. Fuck me in the ass.
You lay there on the ground feeling defeated as he walks up to you laughing.
7:41.
Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
He summons a regular yellow orb because he figures this is all I need now. This pathetic thing doesn't need any more than this. And let's see if he can hit you. Give me a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 5.
You can try to dodge or catch. Either way, it's the same odds at this point.
I'm
You have
gonna
to roll a
try
5 or a
and
6.
dodge.
I would just say, okay, well, if you fell either way, you're going to get hit. So you might as well try to catch.
All right, let's try and catch it. Here we go. I rolled a 6. Woo!
My God, when it matters most. He shoots it at you. Clearly, it's going to hit you. You hold your hand out, laying on the ground, and you catch it in the air. And now you're holding an orb in your hand.
Crimbo eats the orb.
Roll me a 6-sided die and give it a +2.
I roll a 2.
You eat the orb and you gain 4 health points back.
Yes.
And you stand up. What shall you do now? It's your turn.
Alright, how many actions do I have?
You have 2. The buff is gone. You no longer have that body where you had the buff.
How far away is he?
Like 5 feet at this point.
I'm gonna summon my dagger and stab him in his dick hole.
Do it.
I roll a 6.
A giant-ass dagger comes forming out of your hand. It's practically a small sword. Now aim with the grace of
Alright, let's roll it.
whoever.
I rolled another 6.
You shoot the dagger inside his pee hole opening area. And you hear it dinging around. Ding, 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 ding. And he falls to the ground clutching as blood seeps from all parts of his open armor. And he falls over dead as the light from his eyes fade to nothing.
I want to whisper in his ear, Grimbo just killed your ass.
And that's what you did. And that's where we'll end this episode of DnD.
Fuck yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
Oh, man, it was crazy, man.
You went to the other world.
I went to the other world and became a man.
I am not allowed to give spoilers, so I can't make comments.
Damn.
But you certainly did, buddy.
Well, everyone, thank you for coming by. Thank you for the donation, Jeff.
Yep,
You
and we'll
guys
see
have
you.
fun.
We'll see you next Monday for the next playthrough.
Monday. I thought it was Sunday.
That's what I meant to say is Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. Hey,
Sunday,
goodbye,
Sunday.
everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.